Rain beat down like pinpricks of light, reflecting off the wet neon signs that buzzed above the alleyways of level 13. Kira vaulted over a stack of crates, her breath ragged in the oxygen-heavy air of the lower city. Sirens, always too close. When you carried data in your head, you didn't get to rest, especially not with Syndicorp's jackals at your heels. "You there! Stop!" The metallic snarl echoed behind her. Hydraulic boots clanged against metal grates as the three mercenaries gave chase. Kira ducked, skidding behind a vending kiosk. Her left eye flickered. Messages scrolled across her retina. She ignored them. Just the usual junk until it wasn't. In the torrent of spam and adverts, a string of symbols burst through. Sky Harbor, 544A help. Then, a flood of images. Towers floating above the clouds, faces she'd never seen, a voice whispering in her mind. "Kira, the city, save us, they're coming." She clenched her jaw. Messages like that didn't come from nowhere, and nothing in Neon City was ever free. A boot scraped closer. One of the mercs, heavy-set, visor gleaming, scanned the alley with a plasma baton. "You can't hide, courier. Syndicorp knows you're here. Come out and maybe we won't fry your cortex." Kira kept quiet. Her mentor's words echoed, "Nothing is invisible. Everything is misplaced." She bolted across the alley, slipping through a maintenance hatch into the bowels of the city. The mercs shouted, splitting up. Inside, ancient machinery thrummed, a forgotten heartbeat beneath the towering skyline. Kira crouched, palm pressed to her temple. She jabbed a neural override, plunging her consciousness into the code buried in her implant. "Decrypt Sky Harbor." Her voice, barely a whisper, static, then a fractured vision. A city, not just above Neon City, but floating higher still, a place swept clean by storms, hidden. "Help us," the voice pleaded again, stronger this time, almost desperate. "You're the only one who can reach us." Bootsteps thundered above. Kira gritted her teeth and pulled herself from the trance. Someone wanted her to find this forgotten city, and someone else would kill to keep it hidden. She grinned. A gutter kid taking on the skies. The odds were a joke, but Kira was done running. She darted deeper, toward the elevator ports. Time to go up, straight into the claws of whoever owned the heavens. The city's pulse quickened as Kira hustled through the echoing steel corridors, guided by flickering directionals that glowed in strange languages. Even here, neon creeped down from the towers, stretching thin as vapor, barely illuminating all the secrets clinging to these cold walls. Kira felt it. The city was watching, weighing odds, betting against her. She reached the elevator port, one of the old gravlifts still running on dusty magnetic rails. A sigh of relief escaped her. Her luck scratched at survival. One more ride, one more destination. She slid her counterfeit pass into the reader. A board attendant, half human, half hollow, skin a shifting spectrum, looked up. "Not many like you riding to 80th. What's the occasion?" Kira tried to smirk, but it faltered. "Delivery for a friend with expensive tastes." The attendant winked, flicked a switch, and the doors sighed open. Inside, Kira pressed her back against the glass wall. The lift lurched, gravity slithering away as the city dropped beneath her. Below, the chaos of level 13 shrank to static. Above, the city became opulent, tower gardens, threadbare bridges spun from diamond, drones whirring like bored insects. Clouds dripped sunlight onto the wealthy's floating terraces. The transmission symbols whirled in her mind. 544A Sky Harbor, coordinates or a code? Didn't matter. All roads pointed up. Her comms buzzed. Cass, the only ally she had left, patched in. "Heard you stirred up the hounds. What's your plan, Kira?" "Find out what Sky Harbor is before Syndicorp cracks me open. You still good to backdoor city traffic?" Cass's quiet snort of laughter filled her ear. "I've already looped your security feed, but this is big, isn't it?" "Bigger than creds, you sure?" Kira's eyes narrowed. "Don't have a choice. Someone's asking for help. And it's not a scam." "I heard them, Cass. It felt real." The elevator slowed, shuddered, sensor lights flipping red for just a breath. Kira stiffened. The attendant's gaze flickered as drones zipped past. "Next stop, level 80. Watch your step," droned the system's voice. She stepped into a world of engineered perfection. Air so clean her lungs stung, gold accents along glass towers, crowds in tailored nanofiber clothes. But above it all, she saw the edge, where platforms spiraled into the sky and aerotaxi docks shimmered like gateways. Kira hunched her shoulders beneath the weight of syndicate eyes. Down here, she'd been a ghost. Up here, she was the wrong kind of visible. She ducked into the shadows. Her implant flashed again, a map this time leading her straight to the highest dock, labeled only, Launch, Sky Harbor. The hunt had just begun. Kira's heart pounded as she moved through level 80 like a dose of static electric. Nervous, edged, trying not to catch the eye of anyone with a badge or a badge-shaped weapon. Up here, even criminals wore clean shoes. Every reflective surface flashed tailored ads or news feeds slanted to the tastes of the tower crowd. Celebrity gossip, luxury goods, and never the chaos below. No one here suspected the world could rust or riot, but Kira remembered every grime-soaked corner. Following her neural map's pull, she found the Aerotaxi hub, a circle of glass platforms hanging in space, darted over by twin-bladed taxis. Automated advertisements promised rides to anywhere if you had the credits, not just on Earth, but up to orbit or even further skyward. A pilotless cab glided to her. The hatch popped with a hiss. Kira's hand shook as she held her cred chip to the reader. Cass was still patching her in from afar. Don't see any Syndicorp tracker pings yet, but you're on thin ice. No pushing it. Define pushing it, she shot back, forcing herself to breathe as she ducked inside. The cockpit cocooned around her. Touchscapes, glass controls, and a data slot that pulsed, waiting for a destination. She slid her fake pass in, then muttered, "Take me to Sky Harbor, code 544A, strictly off-grid." The machine whirred. For a second, she thought it might flag her. Then the cab hummed, credits drained, and the doors sealed shut. "Destination accepted," intoned the synthetic pilot. "Secure mode. Buckle in for ascent." As the taxi's engines whined, glass towers fell away, and the cab plunged into thick, roiling cloud. For a moment, white nothingness pressed in. Then stars flickered overhead, impossibly close, and the clouds parted below. Kira's breath caught. She was above Neon City, higher than she'd ever dreamed. The hidden city shimmered in the stratosphere, tethered by magnetic anchors to thin lines that glowed in the upper dusk. It was like nothing she'd seen, half natural, half machined, clean towers webbed by glowing walkways. Light shimmered through translucent walls, gardens floated beside gravity fields. The Aerotaxi circled, scanning for a landing clearance. "Cass, I'm seeing it! It's real!" Her friend's voice trembled. "Kira, you need to grab whatever's there and get out. Syndicorp just spiked your location. Half the city's feeding them." But Kira couldn't stop. As the taxi hovered near a landing ring, her implant blared a warning. Then a face flashed before her eyes, a desperate young woman whispering again, "Hurry, please, they're already inside. Trust no one." The hatch opened, dock lights splashed over her. Kira squared her shoulders and jumped, straight into the unknown, and the heart of the sky. The air in Sky Harbor crackled, thin, wild, strange above the chaos of Neon City. Kira's boots hit the landing ring with a metallic clang. Somewhere below, sirens echoed, eaten by silence before they reached this uncharted place. She hesitated only a second, then ducked beneath the docking platform's arch. The world inside was breathtaking. Clean lines of architecture merged seamlessly with living vines. Utility bots drifted like glowing jellyfish. Yet nothing moved that wasn't supposed to. The whole city radiated a tense, electric vigilance. Kira pressed 2 fingers to her temple. The code in her implant pulsed, urging her forward. Every corridor she chose, doors slid open as if expecting her. Hallway lights flickered to life with each step. Occasionally she glimpsed a shadow, someone vanishing around a corner just before she arrived. "You seeing this, Cass?" she whispered, keeping her voice low. Her friend's voice crackled in. "Barely. All uplinks faded when you crossed the barrier. It feels like someone's jamming everything except your implant. You're off the grid, alone." Kira swallowed. The sense of being watched gnawed at her back, but there was no turning around. Not now. She pressed on, heart hammering, until she found a small round plaza, open to the stars and city lights below. There, waiting as if summoned, stood the girl from her visions. Tall, hollow-eyed, hair silver as moonlit wire. A child's caution warred with desperate hope in her gaze. "You're Kira?" the girl breathed, voice trembling and tin crisp. "That depends who's asking." Kira stood tall, masking the quiver in her legs. "You called for help," I answered. "You in trouble, or is this some Syndicorp scam?" "I'm Laura," the girl replied, stepping closer. "They trapped my city, made us ghosts. Our tech keeps us hidden, but Syndicorp broke through with old world code. If someone doesn't sever the link soon, they'll consume everything, erase us, anyone who fights the towers." Kira's hands clenched, shocked at how easily the old anger flickered awake. She remembered the way the upper city lived above the endless clouds and the way people below never knew peace. "What do you need from me?" A flicker of hope. "You're the only unregistered mind, the only one left untouched. With your implant, you can cross to the core and upload a virus. After that, maybe we survive. Maybe everyone does." Above, engines roared. The aerotaxi docked hard, not gentle this time. A heavy thud echoed. Syndicorp boots. Kira met Lara's gaze, nodded sharply. "Lead the way. If you can trust me, I'll trust you, for now." As they plunged deeper into Sky Harbor's luminous corridors, the true fight for the city and for Kira's own survival had finally begun. Kira and Lara darted through the dim, humming arteries of Sky Harbor, moving past clusters of holographic plants and hidden maintenance bots. Every turn brought strange sights: glowing moss clinging to power lines, avatar guardians flickering in and out like digital mirages, distant glimpses of civilians watching from crystal balconies, wide-eyed but wordless. The city felt both ancient and new, like old dreams patched together by desperate hands. Behind them, Syndicorp mercenaries stormed the landing ring, heavy steps growing louder on the reinforced floor. Kira heard the zip of stunner rifles arming up, and the barked orders as they fanned out. Lara grabbed her wrist, yanking her behind a column as a squad swept past, mere meters away, scanning with ghost-pale lights. Kira hissed, "We can't outrun them forever. Where's this core you need?" "Below the main spire," Lara breathed, gaze darting. "But the elevators are locked down. We have to take the maintenance chutes. Dangerous, steep, but Syndicorp will take the road. We cut through first." A burst of gunfire shattered a plasma window, purple light spilling across the hall. Lara and Kira dove for a side door, racing down a spiral stairway hidden behind panels of living glass. It felt like falling through stars. Every level Lara keyed open with her strange access. Every time, alarms sounded closer. "Cass, you still reading me?" Kira whispered, gripping her comm. The signal was just static, until finally, "Eek and clear. Kind of. I'm writing ghost code in the city grid. Syndicorp's deploying kill drones. You don't have much time. Don't trust any system. If you can, find a manual bypass." Kira's jaw tightened. She was the underdog in a storm, but giving up had never been her style. Lara pushed open a hatch near the heart of the city. Below was a chasm carved with anti-grav rails and humming engines. To cross, they'd have to navigate a crisscross web of narrow catwalks in open air. No protection, just raw drop and the hum of power. Kira steadied herself. "You afraid of heights?" Lara shuddered, but shook her head. "Losing my home scares me more." Hand in hand, they edged across the catwalks as plasma beams darted through the air above, mercs taking wild shots, their rage mounting with every miss. The whole city trembled with the battle for its core. At last, skidding breathless against a shielded door, Lara jabbed a code into a cracked panel. "This is it, the only way into the heart of Sky Harbor without tripping every alarm. If we make it through, we might just have a chance." Kira squared her shoulders, determination burning in her tired eyes. "I didn't come this far to quit. Let's finish this together." The shielded door slid open with a whisper, unveiling a vertigo-drop shaft plunging through the very heart of Sky Harbor. Cables snaked along the walls and data streams pulsed like veins. At the core's base far below, Kira saw it, a sphere of light and shadow, spinning in constant motion, the city's mind and memory all at once. Lara pointed to a gravity lift, no more than a glowing panel, and a cage just big enough for two. "Once we're down, the main node is across the fusion bridge, but it's worse than before. Syndicorp is in the system. They're rewriting security as we move." Kira swallowed, determination sharpening inside her. This was what set humans apart. Stubbornness, grit, hope when hope was a fool's game. "They're not expecting us to go through the old layers. Manual all the way, right?" "Right," Lara said, nodding as she squeezed into the cage beside Kira. She punched in a sequence. The lift shivered, then dropped, smooth but fast. Along the shaft's walls, security bots flickered, caught in loops, frozen by the same code Lara and her people used to hide their city. Cass buzzed back into Kira's ear, faint and scratchy. "Shut down most city scans, but your window's closing. Mercenaries just breached the outer node. Kira, once you're in the fusion core, watch the firewalls. It'll fight you hard." "Copy that," Kira said, lips pressed into a thin line. She checked her message log. Fragments of the original Sky Harbor plea shimmered at the edge of her vision, reminding her what was at stake. The lift slammed to a halt on a steel lattice above the fusion bridge, a walkway made of transparent humming force fields, energy arcing beneath every step. On the far side, the main core pulsed, almost alive. Lara stepped forward but froze as Syndicorp mercs surged out of a side hatch. "On the floor, all of you!" one barked, leveling a railgun at Kira's head. Green and red lights flickered across tactical visors. Behind them, Syndicorp's lead agent, face sharp, eyes icy, smiled. "You must be the courier," he called, stepping onto the bridge as if he owned the city. "You really think you can steal what belongs to Syndicorp? This tech is going to change the world. Only you're never leaving this place." Kira glanced at Lara, sharing a silent spark of resolve. No more running. No more hiding. Summoning every scrap of courage, she took a half-step forward and raised her voice above the hum of the city. "Sky Harbor was never yours. You want to erase a future you can't control. Too bad I was born in the gutter and never learned to obey." With that, she triggered a tiny charge in her sleeve, a smoke burst. Blinding light filled the bridge. Kira and Lara lunged for the main node as chaos erupted behind them, racing fate with the hopes of the city, and maybe all of humanity, balanced on the edge of a dying neon blade. Smoke and light tangled behind them, echoing with shouts as Syndicorp's mercenaries fired blindly, their targeting scrambled by the flash. Kira and Lara plunged forward, boots hammering the humming bridge as arcs of blue energy clawed at their heels. The neon chaos in the air set Kira's nerves crackling. It was like running through the barrel of a live wire. They skidded to the heart of the city, the glowing orb of the Sky Harbor core. It seemed to pulse with every hurried heartbeat, veined with code and memory. Lara pulled a brittle cluster of wires and exposed a console, working at it with trembling hands. "I'll open the node." "You have to upload the virus," Lara said, her voice tight with fear and hope. "Your implant is the key. It's the only identity left that can't be rewritten." "What if it wipes me out too?" Kira asked, fingers hovering above the interface. Lara glanced at her, meeting her eyes. I don't know. But if we do nothing, everyone here is lost, including you." Kira hesitated, hearing echoes of all the times she was told she'd never amount to anything, that the sky wasn't for gutter kids. Hot anger steeled her resolve. "If this goes wrong, tell Cass. Tell her I did something right." The console flared alive. Sparks danced. Kira braced herself and jabbed the uplink in her wrist directly to the node. Data flooded her skull. Ancient city code, histories, people's laughter and cries. Then pain, as the Syndicorp firewall smashed at her mind. The lead mercenary reached the bridge, gun raised. "Shut it down! Fry them both!" Kira screamed, but dug deeper, pushing, hacking, wrangling burning strings of corrupted code. Her world shrank to one thought: don't let go. She saw flashes of her past, rain, neon, loss, and somehow found the strength to press on, rewriting the core before the enemy could lock her out. Lara shielded Kira's slumped body, voice fierce. "Fight, Kira, you're almost there!" Inside the core, a door burst open. A memory Lara had hidden, a secret Syndicorp wanted most. A universal failsafe, able to bring the city down or free it forever. Kira seized it, pouring her will into the upload, her mind the final firewall. The mercs surged closer, bridge trembling on the edge of collapse. Everything narrowed to this moment: success or the end of Sky Harbor. Kira's determination held, but her body was failing. Lights flickered in her vision, and the world stuttered gray. Just one touch more, one line of code, and the fate of the city and humanity hung in the balance. Kira's senses buckled. The core's raw data battered her mind with images. A city rising above storms, faces from vanished worlds, the promise of a future that might never come. She grit her teeth and kept her fingers jammed to the uplink as the viral code pulsed from her implant into Sky Harbor's nervous system. Alarms screamed. Red lights lanced through the haze of the fusion bridge. Lara struggled at Kira's side, rerouting energy through scorched panels. "Hang on! The virus is rewriting permissions. Syndicorp's controls breaking apart. Just a little longer." Across the bridge, the Syndicorp lead agent barked, "Override now!" Shut their uplink. Tech drones swarmed, buzzing, trying to slice between Kira and the core. Plasma shots ripped past, breaking off glassy chunks from the catwalk. The structure trembled on the edge of collapse. Cass's voice came sharp in Kira's ear, somehow breaking through the chaos. "Backup surging! Kira, you're almost through their last barrier. I'm on the city comms, broadcasting everything. The world's watching now. Don't stop. Pain bit into Kira's skull. Her vision pulsed with code. She saw Syndicorp's theft, the data of thousands they tried to bury, the hope they'd tried to kill. All the hard years in Neon's chaos, all her failures and doubts, blazed through her. But this time she wasn't running. She was changing everything. With a final surge of will, she locked the virus in place. The node flashed white-hot, a tidal wave of freed data crashing out. The mercenaries recoiled as systems everywhere sputtered and died. Gunfire stopped. Even the drones crashed to silence. Sky Harbor's core hummed alive, free, and watching through Kira's weary eyes. The edge of the bridge splintered and dropped. Kira felt herself falling, mind swimming in a whirl of static. Lara gripped her arm, shouting, "I've got you! Don't let go!" Spinning, dizzy, Kira saw lights rippling out from the city, across clouds, past towers, down to the lowest alley in Neon City. None of it belonged to Syndicorp anymore. As they crashed hard onto a backup platform below, battered but alive, alarms faded into the aftershock of a world remade. Lara pressed her forehead to Kira's, tears streaming down her face. "You did it! We're free! Sky Harbor is ours again! But Syndicorp won't quit, not after what you took from them. Are you ready for what comes next?" Kira managed a weak smile, breathing in the clean sky, knowing everything had changed, but a darker storm was gathering on the horizon. The battle for Sky Harbor's soul was only just beginning. The city floated in a rare calm, the silence after a storm. Overhead, the clouds glowed electric blue, reflecting the newborn light radiating from Sky Harbor. Kira lay on the backup platform, Lara beside her. The air was crisp, the distant city below humming to new rhythms. But beneath her pride, Kira felt the unease stirring. This victory wouldn't hold for long. Lara's voice was soft, almost lost in the breeze. "We'll have to defend the core from Syndicorp's next assault. They don't accept defeat, they rewrite it." Kira sat up, rubbing bruises, a spark of the old Street Fighter returning to her eyes. "Then we don't give them another chance. We take this win and throw it in their faces. We show them Sky Harbor belongs to its people." Cass's triumphant, ragged voice punched through their comms. "You two are legends. Every data stream in Neon City just lit up with your story. Even the towers can't spin this one. The people saw everything. Kira, the underdogs are rallying. Syndicorp's reputation just took the biggest hit since the Cloud Riots." Lara frowned, flicking through data on a floating display. "Their cleanup teams are regrouping. Automated defense drones, new code signals. They'll throw hardware and money at us, maybe even mercenary armies from above." Kira locked eyes with her and tapped her own implant, grit thick in her voice. "Good. Let them come. This city's worth standing up for, and we've got allies now. Every kid in the alleys, every tech who doesn't want a collar, every dreamer who believes in the sky. We use what Syndicorp taught us. Fight smart, unpredictable. We turn every back alley, every cloud pass, every node into a trap." Lara looked away, fear and hope warring on her face. "My people, we've always hidden, survived by staying quiet. I'm not sure we can lead a real rebellion." Kira laid a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to do it alone. You asked for help. Now, we ask the city for the same." As they rose, a trembling pulse shivered through the Sky Harbor core. Screens across the floating metropolis flared to life, a live feed surging from Kira's comms. She spoke, her voice ringing from the depths of Neon City up to the crystal towers. "Syndicorp wants to bury what makes us free. I've seen what they do from the gutter to the heights. Not anymore. If you want Sky Harbor to stay ours, step out of the shadows. This fight isn't over. It's just starting." A wave of support flooded the channels, tech workers, pilots, city kids, even former Syndicorp agents offering secrets and resources. The city, so long divided, began rising in a single defiant voice. But as the united cry echoed out, sensors on the horizon spiked. Ships, huge, bristling with weaponry, broke through the clouds above. The final showdown loomed, darker and more dangerous than ever. Kira grinned at Lara, fire returning to her battered frame. "Get ready," she whispered. "This is the fight that decides everything." Clouds parted with a thundering roar. Syndicorp's fleet descended in a column of black and gold, warships and drones buzzing with ruthless precision above the gleaming towers of Sky Harbor. Down below, the city awoke, united and bristling, a patchwork army born out of alleys and gardens, ready to hold the line. On the command deck, Kira stood taller than she ever imagined. The bruises still ached, but her resolve was iron. Around her, city leaders, old and young, engineers, scavengers, code runners, gathered, every face tense but determined. Lara hovered near the core, feeding real-time tactical data to the new resistance. Cass patched in at Kira's side, face streaked with tears and laughter. Just relayed the new comm route. Every rebel in Neon and the fringe cities has eyes on you. Our network's everywhere now. If Syndicorp wants a war, they're getting one. The city defense grid, once hidden, now awake, flared blue and silver. Neon kids armed with interface guns and magnetic pulses took up positions on the skyways. Drones, hacked by street techs, spiraled into the air to chase the enemy's machines. For once, the underdogs weren't just running. They were ready. Over the comms, the Syndicorp commander sneered. "Last chance, Sky Harbor. Surrender your technology and we'll let your people walk free." Kira answered, her voice carrying all the way to the shimmering clouds. "You lost your chance the day you put a boot on our necks. Come and take it. This city stands for itself now." Missiles streaked from the warships, exploding in blossom-bright bursts against shimmering shields. The rebels fired back, synchronized, Kira's viral code pulsing through every system, the city itself fighting beside its people. The battle raged, coordinated chaos across every level. Lara's voice trembled through the static. "They're trying to breach the core with a logic bomb. If they get in..." Kira slammed her hand onto the console, calling back to Cass. "I need the grid rerouted. Give me a direct line to the fusion banks. If they want to hack the core, let's show them what real resilience looks like." Sweat dripped as Cass and the team juggled city code, pumping raw power through makeshift circuits. The ground shivered. Syndicorp's digital attack began to fail. Blueprints of oppression snuffed out one firewall at a time. Homespun rebel fighters on grav bikes zipped across the skyline, flanking enemy drop pods. Neon signs glared checkered resistance colors. Kira barked orders, even as blasts ripped through glass and wire. Each wave of invaders, met by a wave of unity. The Syndicorp flagship hovered at the heart of the city, charging plasma, a threat to erase everything. Kira remembered the alleys, the hunger, the dreams denied. She opened a channel citywide. "No one's alone. We fight for every sky and every tomorrow, now." With every last erg of will, Kira fed the core's pulse outwards, overloading the enemy's sensors and disabling their ships. Syndicorp's fleet began to flicker and falter, one after another tumbling into the clouds below. The sky erupted with rebel cheers as the final wave was turned aside. The battle was over. Syndicorp limped into retreat, their stranglehold broken for the first time in living memory. Panting and battered, Kira stood atop Sky Harbor's open deck as dawn broke for the first time. Lara pressed a hand to her shoulder. "You changed us, Kira. Not just our city, but everyone trapped outside it." "I didn't do it alone," Kira replied, looking out at the rising sun, feeling the pride radiate through every bruised bone and every code channel now free. "We built this together, and no one can take it away." For the first time, dawn wasn't out of reach. Under the neon sky, the harbor belonged to all. The story was far from over, and Kira knew 1,000 new tomorrows awaited, each brighter than the last.